Helps if your mic's on. Cool. Okay, I'm just gonna post a few I'm live doodads. That's not the doodad. Okay. I'm wearing this hood. A hood on this hoodie, which I never have on, and it's like really throwing me off. Okay. Let's not forget to talk loudly. Okay. Here we go. Okay. so that's been posted. Stunning. Cool. Okay. So, oh, let me get this other stuff ready. Hey Roz, thanks for that. Thank you. Happy N7 day. Wrong side. I can't figure out the picture situation thing. Thank you so much for, see, like I'm trying to not have this situation. Oh look, wait, look at this. And to you. I saw the, I never remember the voice actor's name, but the guy for Caden, and I saw that and was like, man, I hope that Roz sees this. Hi Joe. How's it going? How you doing? Happy N7 day, Joe. Okay, I'm just pulling some things up. Yes, Raphael, which is funny. I should, Raphael, I guess. Raphael? Yeah. I should remember his name because it's kind of similar to my name. So that would be smart of me. Cool. All right, so I'm just bringing up a few things. No, not that. Shh, 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 shh. Twitter. Twitter's messing my game up. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna do, actually, yeah, I have Twitter open, so I guess I should just, not at Mass Effect, though. Hey, what's up, not Hitman. Hey, Turtle, how's it going? Welcome. We're gonna be doing a lot of talky today, tonight. Tunity Rad? What is that? What is Tunity Rad? That's not at all right. Okay, I promise we're gonna start very shortly. No, that's not right. That's right. Tweet. Okay, cool. I don't know what you're trying to do, but that's fine. Cool. You followed my face? Where? Where did it go? Where'd you follow my face to? That's funny. She... Sorry, I got distracted by something and then I was going to read it out loud and realized it's not related to anything. Hey, Maniac, how's it going, man? Or lady? Something strange is now happening over there. I'm very distracted. Okay, so today what's going to happen is we are going to talk about Mass Effect. It is N7 day. Mass Effect is a very large part of my self-care routine. I'm doing well as well, Maniac. Having a pretty good day. Small amounts of letdown, but we'll talk about that separately. So, all right, let us do this. Just saw something. Oh, that's really dumb. Why does it do that? Why does it do that? Okay, I'll just do that then. If that's the case, then I'm just gonna do that. Great. Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna talk about Mass Effect. I think I know some of you in the chat right now have definitely played Mass Effect. I know that I have played Mass Effect, which, you know, I don't know the camera thing here, so I've played Mass Effect. I am a very big fan of Mass Effect. I have some anecdotes to share, but on Instagram, thanks Joe, I appreciate that. That's funny. Cool. So yeah, so we're going to talk about Mass Effect this evening. If we have time after the discussion, as you guys know, I usually try to keep this particular segment right around an hour. And if we have time after the segment, I will talk a little bit about boundaries. If not, we can save that for another time. I found a great article that we can definitely pull up, and it's actually in a magazine, so I'll just have it if we get there. I'm here to... Oh, hey guys, how's it going? Thank you. Cool. So we're going to talk about Mass Effect. So please jump in on the conversation, especially if you've played. If you haven't played and you want to join in and talk about what you know, what you don't know, ask questions, please do that. That's totally encouraged. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do one of these. Oh, you know what? I don't have that set up for this. Oh, look at that. I didn't plan this very well. Hold on just a second. Can I do this while I'm in? I think I can. Oh, well, no, I can't. I can. I'm so stupid. Oh my god, it's been a long day. Okay. All right, I just had a moment there. It's totally awesome and fun. Okay, so what I have here is the Mass Effect Twitter. And so all day today, BioWare, pretty specifically, has been giving us these little videos that are such teases. Also, now I realize you said if there's time you're going to talk about boundaries, but I heard zombies. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about zombies ever, because I hate zombies truly with a burning passion. I half pun intended, because we're talking about Mass Effect, but maybe one of the only ways that I'd play a game with zombies in it, if it was Mass Effect. Like, even Tomb Raider, which I loved, had like a zombie-ish kind of thing, and I was like, I'm going to play this once just to say that I did it, and then I never played that mode again. So, yeah. Anyway, so Mass Effect. Today's N7 Day. For those who don't know, N7 Day is the day... Deadly. You hate zombies, so no COD No. I also don't own COD, and I'm not going to be buying it. 100% can tell you that's not going to happen. So N7 Day is November 7th. N7 is essentially in Mass Effect, the highest honor training powerful person that you can get in the Alliance within the fictional world. Sadly, it's fictional world of Mass Effect. So on November 7th, Mass Effect fans across the world celebrate. This music is really making me laugh. Is across the world celebrate N7 Day. So all throughout the day today, like I said, they were playing these videos, sort of giving us little snippets of how the developers, sort of the lead developers of Mass Effect, felt about Mass Effect. So I'm going to start just by playing each one of these. You know, feel free, like I said, to jump in and share Mass Effect stories that you have in the chat. I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience with Mass Effect, why it's so important to me, why I'm making an entire, potentially, live stream about Mass Effect and why I like it so much. So I'm going to jump right in. This was last year, so this year, the first thing that we got this year was, hey, look, there's my thing. Look, I promoted myself. Okay, so today we're celebrating N7 Day with a series of short videos featuring members of the team. We want to hear what you love about the Mass Effect universe and what you want to see in the future, so join the discussion by using the N7 Day hashtag. I should have said the hashtag N7 Day hashtag. Happy N7 Day, everyone. So that was so promising. I'm a little bitter because so far we haven't gotten much more than that, which is, you know, it is what it is, but we'll get there later. So where did this thing go that I wanted to? I guess I kind of wanted to do this instead. Hold on, everybody stop. Mass Effect. There's like this channel on YouTube I watch called Watch Mojo, and they used to have this guy who every time he would say Mass Effect, he'd say it as Mass Effect. So now that's how I say it too. Cool. So here's the first one. Let me pause this. We don't need this. Here's my, I'm looking at my playlist here, and it's Priscilla's song from Witcher in 20 different languages. So, okay. Here, we're going to play this.
I've always loved the idea of just traveling around the galaxy with a starship full of friends.
So that's true. I like that as well.
I've always loved the idea of just traveling around the galaxy with a starship full of friends.
Also, I'm upset they blocked out that actual sound of the Mass Effect thing going, because that, distinctly remember the first time through playing the games, the Mass Effect relay noise I loved, but it blew out my earbuds, my ear. No problem. Clean, watch, enjoy. You know, you're awesome, Rosin. I think you're great. This is making me miss some of the stuff from MERP. Oh, we're going to get into MERP, Joe. We are going to talk about the MERP. I also don't know if anybody else says it MERP. I'm realizing this might be the first time you're ever hearing me say it, but I say MERP. M-E-R-P spells MERP. Like spew in Harry Potter. Okay, so here is the second one that they gave us today.
If we're not the only species in
Hold
the
on.
whole galaxy.
Rude. Start over. Ignore that first. There we go.
One great thing about being part of Mass Effect is trying to imagine and dream what if we're not the only species in the whole galaxy.
Beautiful. I love that shot there with the Citadel in the background.
One great thing about
Stunning.
being part of Mass Effect.
Yeah. And then they gave us this one. So this was like every... Okay, cool. Good. I'm not alone. Solid. So... every hour-ish, every hour and a half-ish, they were giving us these videos. I don't know if I properly watched this one.
I get to play things that I never would want to be in real life. I get to play Renegade Shepherd. Being able to realize those fantasies as you play the game, but also as you write them is something that's really fun and rewarding.
I like that too. So I like... Stop talking. I like that she wrote, it's really fun when writing, or that's what she said. Because it's like, continues to make us think like, okay, maybe they're writing more, maybe they're writing more. So that's really fun for me. It's really hard to appreciate how big this Citadel is in the game. Oh, absolutely. I remember probably not the first time I landed on the Citadel, but after a few times of going there, being back and forth, realizing that like when you looked up you could see like a whole other arm of the Citadel that, I mean, maybe eventually you go to in the DLC in Mass Effect 3, but like you're only on like this little like fingernail thing of the Citadel. Like it's absolutely blows my mind. 100% cool. Okay, so here was the next one. I'm gonna wait till we're actually just gonna go like this. Stop. Make big. I figured it out.
I'm excited about the heroes we're going to be able to create in Mass Effect in the future and what we can become and the experiences we can have through them.
Heck yeah. Oh, such a good scene in Mass Effect 3, by the way.
I'm
Roz
excited about the heroes we're
went
going to be able to
through
create in Mass Effect in the future.
back in the MERP days, and she took my character face code and put it in and like screen capped the first like opening scene and mission on Mars for me so I could get icons and stuff to use. And man, those were the days. Those were the days. Okay, so then this last one, this is from the project director at BioWare, and this was sort of the last video they posted, which did dash my hopes and dreams a little bit. I'm still holding out. So, okay.
Mass Effect gives you the ability to go to the furthest places of the universe. What stories would you tell? What new species would you encounter? On this N7 day, join us. Where do you want to go?
Man, the chills. I love that music. So good.
Mass Effect gives...
So I think that I wanted to show those videos because of that last piece. You know, where do you want to go? Where do you want to see Mass Effect? So I did recently, where to go? I'm going to promote myself in the group that I write for. I wrote a piece on my 7 wishes for N7 Day. I like how it's gotten a lot of views. And real quick shout out. I write for YouhornGaming.com. It's a awesome community of mostly volunteers who are just writing their thoughts and posting things, and I sort of like spur of the moment wrote 7 wishes for N7 Day, and I kind of just listed things that I thought I would enjoy. First of all, it's my list, and then also what I thought the community of Mass Effect would enjoy. So I kind of went through. You can see number 7, a movie or TV show. Number 6, new Funko Pops, mostly because I'm a glutton. I need to, my Funko Pops, I keep telling everyone, are over there. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know where I would put her, but I have Miranda. I have a row of my my gaming ladies, which includes, I'll say it off to you since we're talking about it. This is from left to right. Yeah, that's directions. Miranda, Brigitte, Lara Croft, Widowmaker, Aloy, and Yennefer. So those are my video game ladies. There would be a Liara there if they made a Liara. I talk about that right here in the article, and then again at the bottom. But the really big one that I want to talk about is this number 2, because I really thought we were going to get this today. I thought that we were going to get a current gen remaster, and those are excellent lady choices. Thank you, Roz. I think so too. I do have some men that I like. They are not on my console shelf down here. They look at me while I'm gaming. The rest are just kind of up. Like I have a Geralt, I have a Soldier, I have a Booker DeWitt who does not get enough credit. I love Booker DeWitt from BioShock Infinite. I have Shax, my boy Shax. I have a Dovahkiin. Grunt is up there. I should do a stream on my Funkos. I don't have a lot, but they're a strong army. Okay, anyway, so I really thought, I have to tell you, no Xur. I didn't get a Xur. I liked his mold, but I was like meh about it. And then there's also another piece of that I'll type to you because it's not worth getting into on stream. But yeah, so yeah. I'll do a whole thing on my Funko Pops if that's something that you guys are interested in seeing. I don't need much of a reason to talk about my Funko Pops, but if you guys are interested in seeing them, I can do that. Also, Grunt getting drunk on his birthday was the best. Yes, that was solid. That was really excellent. Yeah, so just follow Lady's lead here. Tell me your favorite stuff from Mass Effect. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. But I thought today was the day we were going to get told that we were going to get a current gen remaster. And I've seen some people on the internet say, well, like, why would they do current gen, especially for console, when this generation's on its last leg, if you will? Like, we're moving into a new cycle. Well, here's the reason. Because that's exactly it, right? We're moving into a new cycle of consoles. So why not give the fans something we've wanted pretty much since the new generation of consoles, and give us something for the next year until the new consoles come out, and everything's probably going to be backwards compatible anyway, and it's going to be really good graphics anyway, to hold us over until then. Why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you do it? In a month, what day is the Dragon Age Day? December 4th. We're going to hear about that, right? There's a new game coming out. We're going to hear about that. That's going to be next gen. Give us some, bundle it. Bundle, Dragon Age, bundle, Mass Effect. I see that, Joe. Ship them to us. I will pay $60 for Mass Effect. I might pay $60 for Dragon Age. That's a whole separate conversation. We're not talking about Dragon Age right now. I will buy a remastered Mass Effect trilogy, man. I'll buy it. I don't care if the new consoles are coming out. I'm not buying a new console right away. So what are you doing? Joe has an excellent point, because they're cowards in all capital letters. That is true. So I'm not going to read what I wrote here. If you guys are interested in reading this article, I'll post a link in chat. Mass Effect 1 is chunky, right? Like, Mass Effect 1, I can't even go back and play it, and I want to. Like, I don't even need to import my Shepherd. I mean, that would be great, but I understand they can't do that. Like, when remastered Skyrim came out, you cannot import your former character. ME1 Renegade Shepherd is such a douche. I know, right? And it would be so fun to go back and play Mass Effect 1 less clunky, and then just have it as this beautiful game that is getting the love it deserves. So they're gun shy, and I don't know why they're gun shy. We've been asking for the remaster since before Andromeda was even mentioned. I wrote that in here. The other thing, if spoilers, here's my number one, Andromeda 2. Like, honestly, I know that I know Roz and I obviously talked about Mass Effect. I know I haven't given my Mass Effect story. Roz is involved, Joe's involved. But like, I know that when Roz and I saw that Andromeda was coming out, Roz and I both kind of had the same concerns, and I think, and Roz, you can correct me, I think I enjoyed Andromeda out of the gate more than Roz did, but like, I don't know what your opinion of it is now, like years later after patches and stuff, but like, they need to make an Andromeda 2. They truly gave us the opportunity to have such a good trilogy, or however long they wanted to make it. It's a great foundation. Just recognize what you did wrong and fix it. I mean, how hard is it? Okay, they're gun shy because Andromeda didn't play off as well as they wanted it to, exactly. That's fine, but like, why are they gun shy about the remaster? We already know that we like those games, right? Like, even though apparently I didn't play 3, as some of you might know, when it came out, but why, even with the negativity about 3, people would literally murder each other for this game, right? I mean, they wouldn't, but like, why are they gun shy about a remaster? That's my question. I can deal with a gun shy about Andromeda 2, fine, but why are they gun shy about a remaster of 3 games that everybody in the Mass Effect community can agree upon are great? Mass Effect 2 is the best one. My best girl's in it. But why are they gun shy about it? That's my question. Okay, so negative feedback on the past 2 games, right. Never finished it, Joe. You never finished Andromeda, okay. To be honest, I haven't played it again since my first playthrough. I was less than impressed with its performance on PC, fair. I didn't play through when it came out. I'm no expert in the business side of things, but I would imagine that a remaster is less guaranteed sale than an original game. Maybe, but still, I think at this point, they're at a point where it's been over 2 years since Andromeda. They've done a really good job fixing a lot of the issues that people were complaining about. Obviously, some of the wonkiness of it being a first entry and some of the story being meh and some of that stuff being weird is going to be weird. After my first initial reaction when I was playing it was like, "Blech, this was bad." But then I'm also thinking like, okay, but my favorite game of Mass Effect is Mass Effect 2, that has had time, like the second installment had time to build a fan base and had the money to get these great performances and had these amazing writers and et cetera, et cetera. Andromeda was always maybe going to be a little bit weird because it was Mass Effect 1 again, just different. Like Mass Effect 1, when you look back on it, you're like, like I might never go to Novaria again and be okay, right? Because it's just like, ugh, the sludge. But also, because it's part of those other 2 games, we look back on it, we're like, oh, Mass Effect 1, wonderful. Me personally, that's just my take. Real quick, didn't finish Andromeda because I was in school, I think. Well, life stuff is the pits, right? I get it for sure. Lots of people would say I already have that, don't need it again. Yeah, but I agree with you, but I'm going to counterpoint. So I think for PC it's probably a little bit different because, like, you can't get it on PS4. It's not backwards compatible on PS4. You can only play it backwards compatible on Xbox One. So I can play it again. I wouldn't need to buy the remasters. Would I? Of course I would. But I wouldn't need to play the remasters. I have it. But people who have PS4 who've like long gone from their PS3s. They can't play it unless they get it on PC or Xbox. So they would make money off of PS4 players alone. Oh no, I know you don't disagree. I just get very heated, and this is my heated voice. I feel bad for Glenn because when we're like having a normal conversation about something and he thinks he's getting into this gentle conversation about something, and I'm just like, but this is what I love about it, and you don't get to tell me that, and he's like, I'm just here to talk to you about like peanut butter, and I'm like, no, but I'm very passionate about peanut butter, and he's like, I'm never talking to you again. I didn't think that you were disagreeing. I just like healthy, fun conversation. For sure, Roz. You come on now, you know that. Okay, my only issue with Andromeda is that the story was just regurgitated version of 3. Of 3? I felt it was a little bit regurgitating of 2, because 2 had the collectors, which were just like what's the word I'm looking for? There's a word, just like repurposed Protheans, right? Am I confusing the stories? Also got a lurk. Okay, bye, Joe. Or not bye, but lurk away. But yeah, so anyway, I think that I'm still holding out hope. I'm going to secretly continue to just stare at the BioWare Twitter and hope that we get something. We won't. It's been 3 hours since they've posted this and they haven't posted anything else. So that's enjoyable. That feels good. This is true, maybe an amalgamation of them. So they still haven't given the payoff. Tristan, I'm dying, dude. I'm truly upset. You'll probably have to hear about this tomorrow. Sorry in advance. Lots of parallels between John and Yav. It's Yavik, right? I didn't have Yavik. Or is it Yavik? Someone correct me. I don't think I'm right. It's okay. I'll just start talking about Fallen Order. You can't get a sentence about Fallen Order out. So I'm not worried. He's very excited. So, anyway, so let's... Yeah, that was typing it. Or whatever, wherever you're sitting. You're probably at a computer. That was typing it. I'm talking about talking it. J. Oh, it's Javik. Right? I'm the worst. But Rachel, you roleplayed as Liara. How do you not know how to say Javik well? I was typing Javik. Thank you very much. Okay, cool. So let's talk about Mass Effect. Let's talk about it. Where is this? I don't need that anymore. That's funny. Cool. Okay, so Mass Effect, I have how did Radical find Mass Effect? Some of you may have heard the story, some of you may not. So we'll start at the beginning. So also you should get him, Liara fangirling is just Chef Kiss. It's just, gotcha, okay, got it. I was like, what the hell's a Chef Kiss? We got there. Got it. Okay, so how did Rachel get into Mass Effect? When I started gaming, like for real, the first game that I played as a big kid, I actually think my secret first game was finishing Paper Mario, which if you have not played Paper Mario, it is literally one of the greatest RPG adventures of all time. I'm talking about the one on the N64. Play Paper Mario if you are able to play it. It is tremendous. It was 20 seconds. Give me some credit. So anyway, Paper Mario, but really it was Skyrim. So when my fiance and I started dating, he told me, so I just want to let you know on November, whenever it was, 11th, I think, there's a game coming out that I've been waiting for a really long time. So if we don't see each other for just like a little bit of time, then it's just because I'm playing that. And I was like, cool. I have dabbled in some gaming. I can respect it. I think it's great. So but we did see a lot of each other, and it was mostly just me like sitting in there while he was playing Skyrim. And then one day, it was not right away, but one day I finally watched what he was doing, and he explained like, yeah, you get to make your own character and pick your skills and X, Y, and Z. And I remember being like, you can do what now? You can make your own character. You can what now? And so he was like, did you want to play this? Yeah. So I played Skyrim, made my own character. I was at the peak of my original character naming, and named my Nord two-handed weapon warrior woman Rachel. It was really peak for me. And Radicals Gaming was born through Skyrim, essentially, because I really got into it. That was the first game I ever put 100 hours into. Though I might have put 100 hours into Paper Mario. That wouldn't shock me. That's a long, long, long game. So then I think one of the next games I played was Dishonored. Then Tomb Raider Reboot 2013 came out. And then I was like, okay, well, what do I play now? I played these games. I really like them. I know what genre I like. So my brother, who, for those of you who don't know, is 8 years younger than me, he played a lot more video games than I did while he was growing up. So we were in a GameStop one day, and I was like, Ted, my brother's name is Ted. I was like, Ted, what do I play? What should I get? And he, at that time, he would have been, I was 23, so he would have been like 15. And he said, oh, try this game, Mass Effect. He said, I've played it, and I really liked it. And in retrospect, like, my brother playing that game younger than, like, I think he played it even younger than 15, which explains, like, why he called me once and was like, I just had this crazy sex scene with this chick in the bottom of the ship. And I was like, what? Anyway, so he said, you really will like this game Mass Effect. You can get the whole trilogy. At the time it was like $35 because it was like late 2013. And he was like, you will love this game. You get to create your own character. You can choose what happens in the story, and you can be a lesbian, and I know you would love that. That's what he said. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure. Let's do it. I've win. That's a win for me. So I bought the games, and I went home, and at the time we were living with one of our friends, and I downloaded it, booted it up, and that gorgeous, beautiful Vigil soundtrack on the main menu of Mass Effect graced my ears for the first time, and that was it. That was it. So that was my entry into Mass Effect, and yeah, I'm not gonna go through like, and then I saw Liara floating in a bubble and knew that I had found my true loves. But I'm just so indebted to Mass Effect, because what ended up happening with Mass Effect is I played the first game, which was one of the only boss battles when I was fighting the second form of Saren that I cried and threw my controller. And I had to turn the game off and then turn it back on again like hours later, and I beat him, and then realized that somewhere along the way my difficulty had gone up on its own. And I was like, I'm not trying to prove to anyone how good I am at this game, and I moved it down to easy, and then I beat him. So that was nice. But right after I finished that, literally like a few days later, I had started Mass Effect 2, met Miranda, and I moved. I moved to about 2 hours away from where my fiance was living. So, and we had been living together at that point. We were not engaged yet, but we had been living together at that point for 2-ish years, 1.5 years. So I was just very used to living with him. We were in a really long-term relationship at that point, and I had to move to go to grad school, and he was not coming with me right away. So I didn't know anyone. I found the people that I was living with on Craigslist, and it actually worked out okay. And honestly, all I had was the familiarity of the people, of the characters, of the family that I had built in Mass Effect. So earlier today on Twitter, one of the devs, let me see if I can find it. One of the devs wrote, here it is. He wrote, "Why was Mass Effect important to you?" I don't know how to say this man's first name, so I don't want to butcher it. Sila Costa. And I wrote pretty simply, Mass Effect came into my life when I was unspeakably lonely. It reminded me that love and friendship could exist despite the many obstacles we face on our adventures. And I mean, that's, oh, you can't see this. It's a good thing I read it to you. But that's what Mass Effect was for me. That's why it's so potent. That's why it's so important to me. It's because I found it when I felt like I had nothing. I felt like I didn't have anyone to connect with. I was in school. I make friends very easily. I had friends, but at night when I was, missing my partner, when I was missing my family, when I was in a house with two people I had only met for, that I only knew because I was living with them, it was such a relief to have characters and family in the game of Mass Effect that I could connect to. So, and then on the other side of that came a whole other family of people in MERP, which you heard or you saw Joe mention, and then also me mention. So MERP was a Mass Effect role-playing through Tumblr, and I used to participate in that. I had a number of blogs because I thought that I was way better than I was, but I ran pretty well, in my opinion, and Joe and Roz can chime in and tell me how terrible I was, but I ran a Liara blog, and so I role-played as Liara, and it was fun. It was just like, honestly, it was just fictional writing interactively. I mean, that's truly what it was. I was not like, though I definitely would have if I had the option to. If I could dress up like Liara and then be sitting creepily behind my computer, that would have been prime. But honestly, it essentially allowed me to do just a character study. And I was playing the games anyway for the first time through, so I was learning all these different things. I was romancing Liara in the games. I stayed faithful to her through Mass Effect 2. There wasn't anyone I wanted to romance anyway, except for someone I couldn't, and so I stayed true to the blue, and so I learned a lot about Liara, and I realized that there was just a lot of similarities. I feel like I got her cadence down in the writing, and so not only was I able to jump in to Mass Effect in the game, but I was able to continue jumping into Mass Effect with other people who loved Mass Effect as much as I did. Rosalind, Roz, who's in chat right now, Blackjack Kent is one of those people. Joe Archon is one of those people, and a bunch of other people who I just got to know and talk about Mass Effect and just honestly live Mass Effect to the ability that I was able to. It was just ingrained in me for that period of time. Yo, Jesse, what's up, man? We're talking about Mass Effect this evening. So yeah, chime in if you've played. If you haven't played, I encourage it. If you have the opportunity to. Yeah, anyway, so currently waiting on dinner. That sounds good to me as well. Dinner is very important. So I just fell in love with Mass Effect, and it found me when I needed it most. And so that's sort of my mantra when it comes to Mass Effect. And I'm talking about the trilogy. Andromeda is a little bit of a different story. So that's Mass Effect. Miranda and Liara are my true loves. I know this may be a shock, maybe not to some of you. Miranda, I think at the end of the day is my favorite character, just because like she's not everyone's favorite character. But Liara is so important to me. She was part of me for such a long time. I give such, I can't, when I load into Mass Effect and I pull up my original file, or I play a little bit of Mass Effect 2, especially, is my favorite game on my original Shepard. It's just this magical experience that I just think back onto that time when I was playing it with those people that I both knew from MERP, and then those people, if you will, those characters. So, fast forward, I'm going to skip over Andromeda for a second, but fast forward to 2018. I love conventions. So this is a small anecdote that I just wanted to share. And please chime in chat. Some of you just might be listening, which is great. But if you have Mass Effect things that you want to talk about, please chime in. I want to hear about your experiences too, since it is so important. But fast forward to 2018. So as I mentioned, I love conventions. I usually go to the local Comic-Con here, Tampa Bay Comic-Con. And so that's usually my only one per year, plus Guardian Con, which I've started going to more and more now, and which is now GCX event. And one year, 2018, I was on Facebook and I saw an ad for MegaCon, which is a really big convention in Orlando usually, but it said MegaCon Tampa 2018. And I was like, let me just take a look at who's coming to this, because it was fairly cheap. It was a smaller convention. And since I love them, I was like, if there's someone there who I'd like to even just walk up to and meet, I have no shame doing that. Like, hey, I'm not paying for you, but I just want to meet you. I will do that. So I open it up, and one of the first things I see is a picture of Liara. And I was like, oh my word, I need to go to this convention. And then I saw FemShep. So I said, Jennifer Hale and Allie Hillis are going to be at this convention. Sold. $30 sold. Happily. So at the time, I was working in the downtown area near where the convention was going to be. So I said to myself, it said they were going to be there all 3 days. So I said to myself, let me just grab a Friday ticket. The Friday hours were, what just happened? Oh, the Friday hours were 4 to 9 or something, and I worked till 4:30. So I was like, super awesome. I'll just leave a half an hour early even and just go over there, check out the swag and get my signatures. So there was someone else there who I didn't even realize was there until, but that's part of the story. Okay. So leading up to that week was Hurricane Florence, which affected the Carolinas in 2018. This was in September. And so Allie Hillis and Jennifer Hale posted that Jennifer Hale canceled actually the whole convention. So I ended up not getting being able to meet her, but she does conventions a lot, so I'm not worried. I think it's gonna work out with Jennifer Hale someday. But Allie Hillis said I'm not gonna be able to be there Friday, but I will be there Saturday and Sunday. And I had only purchased the 1 day ticket for Friday. And I was like, man, that's a kick in the pants. And I wasn't even going to go. I was like, whatever, it's not worth it. I can't go. I can't spend another $30 and go back. I just can't do it. On top of the autograph, whatever. But then I was like, you know what? I have the ticket. I like conventions. I'm just going to go. Maybe for somehow she'll show up. You never know how things are going to work out. There were other people there that I wanted to meet. I can't think of their names right now, but the guys who played Fred and George from the Harry Potter movies were there. So I said, yeah, I'll just go there. I could walk up and meet them. That'd be pretty cool. So I got there and I walked around. I checked out some art. I have some art hanging off camera over there. There's a Widowmaker poster and an Elspeth poster from Magic the Gathering that I got from that convention. So I talked to some people, whatever. So I was creepily, not even creepily, just pathetically, standing far back, but in front of Allie Hillis's booth, literally just what could have been. And so, so I eventually saw this woman who worked for the convention, stop by, and she, or was standing at Allie's booth. And I was like, I'm going to go talk to this woman. I'm just going to go say hi, see what's going on. Maybe she's here, right? Maybe she's here. I'm like, oh, she's here, and we're just going to wait. So I walk up there. I forgot her name. I think it was Bender, from Futurama. And I said, hey, I feel like I know the answer, but is Allie Hillis coming tonight? I know she said she wasn't, but is she coming? And we had this whole conversation, and she was trying to figure out could I leave her something and then she'll get the autograph for me and then she could mail it to me or whatever. And I was like, honestly, it's not about the autograph. Like, it's about meeting her. And there was no way I could go into explaining what I've already explained, like, to this random worker. And she was like, I'm so sorry, you know, I hope maybe, is there any way you could come back this weekend? And I was just like, no, not really. So then I left and I thanked her, and it was what it was. So on Saturday, we were at a soccer game, a local soccer game with a couple of my friends. And at one point during the soccer game, I was just kind of like staring off into the night sky that was downtown St. Petersburg, and which is beautiful. And I looked at my fiance and I said to him, I have to go to the convention tomorrow. I have to go. If I don't go and I miss out on the opportunity to meet Ali Hillis, I will regret it. And he said, then go. It's $30. Just go. So I went. So I popped on my Miranda hoodie, this one right here, and I drove early in the morning to, it takes about 30 minutes to get there from where I live. I listened to Vigil, the track from Mass Effect 1. I got in the zone. I was by myself. I love doing stuff like that by myself anyway. And I waited in line. I have some things here that I was like, could I get this signed? Do I want it signed? I'm not really quite sure. So I actually went there thinking like, I'll just get a picture from her at her table. They usually have pictures. So her signing didn't start till 11, and I got there about 9, or the con opened at 9. So I walked around for a while. I went back to the artist who I talked to, and I had told him while I was standing there, like on Friday, like my plight. And he said, oh, you came back. I was thinking about you. I was hoping you'd be able to get here. And so he and I were talking, and then I found this booth. Actually, I have it right here. Hold on. Oh God, I'm going to get stuck because I have a cord. Hold on a sec. Okay, so I found this booth. I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's going to be spoiled. Oh God, it's all dusty. Hold on. I found this booth with old-timey CDs. And I was like, if they have a Mass Effect 2 CDs, and they were $5, or CDs, my gosh, discs for games. And I said, if they have one for if they have a Mass Effect 2 one, I will buy it. I will buy it and get it signed by Ali Hillis. How amazing would that be? So sick. Even though she's not in it that much. Although my absolute favorite content in all of the games is the Shadow Broker DLC for obvious reasons. I do love my girl Liara very, very much. She and Miranda are tied, okay? Every time I say Miranda's my favorite, I like have guilt, so they're tied. I got this disc, and then it was time. I'm laughing at myself for being such a nerd, but it was time. So I got in line, and there were a few people in line, not a lot. I was probably like the 4th in line. And I remember standing there with my little disc, and I was giving myself this pep talk in my head that was like, listen to me. She's just a person, man. You know, she puts her pants on every day like everybody else, and she's just a person. So just keep yourself together, Rachel. You've met your favorite actress. I met Lauren Graham from Gilmore Girls when I was 19. I'm a 28-year-old woman. You can keep your shit together. You can do it. You can do it. So while I was standing there, Bender, the woman I saw on Friday, saw me, and she like waved me out of line. So I walked over to her. And she said, oh my God, she was like ecstatic that I made it back. She was just like the artist. She was like, oh my gosh, I was thinking about you all weekend. I was hoping that you would get here. And she said, Allie's going to be out soon. I'm going to let her know the situation. And don't worry, we're going to hook it up for you. And I was thinking, I was just like, I was focusing on like, oh my God, how do I look? I probably looked something like this. And I was just like, okay, cool. Thanks, Bender. No problem. So Allie came out flawless. She's a flawless human being. And she got to her table. And like I said, there were a few people in front of me. And she was so diligent to like spend time with everyone. Obviously, if her line had been super long, like when I met Carrie Fisher in 2015? That was with Roz. Roz, what year were you here? I think it was 2015. When my brother and I stood in line for Carrie Fisher. That's a lot. You cannot spend 10 minutes with each people. There were literally like 3,000 people in line. But Allie had not 3,000 people. She had a good amount of people, but not too many people in line. So she was spending time with all of us. So like as I was inching forward to meet her, I was continuing to just like deteriorate. I was like, oh my God, this is happening. What am I gonna do? But I'm like, no, you got to keep it together. She's a person. She does not need a grown adult to be sobbing to her about Liara. So the way that it works usually, if you haven't been to a convention or gotten an autograph, usually like one guest is talking with the person, one con guest is talking with the celebrity guest, and then I, for example, was waiting with Bender, who had the merchandise. So I walk up and I said, here's the however much it was for the autograph. I'm going to get this disc signed. And she said, okay, but also which one of these pictures do you like? It's right here. Where'd my hand go? Stop. It's right here. I should have taken it off my wall, but this is the picture. So there was like a promo poster of her that was kind of like more artistic, and then there was like a screen cap of just like Liara on Mars in Mass Effect 3 looking like beautiful Liara. And I said, obviously the in-game picture. I mean, come on now. But I said to her, but I was like, okay, if I had to pick this one, but I have this disc. And she was like, okay, but if you like this one, I told Allie the story, I pointed you out, and she's gonna give you a free autograph as well. And I was like, whoa, that's really nice. And she said, yeah, she felt really bad that you weren't able to see her on Friday and that you had to pay for another ticket to come back. And yeah, it was amazing, Tristan. I literally was like, how am I supposed to not cry now? This woman's amazing. So then it was my turn, right? So the person in front of me was this guy dressed as Mario in a shark suit. Was it Mario or Deadpool? It might have been Deadpool in a shark suit. And he had her do his voicemail. So like his voice was like, hi, I'm Liara Tassoni. You've blah, blah, blah. Like it was really, really cool. So then I walk up and I was like, she goes, hi, how are you? And Bender came over and was like, oh, this is her. And she said, oh, good, blah, blah, blah. And I just like lost it. And I was like, hi, I'm Rachel. And I like started crying. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I told myself I wasn't going to cry. I'm just so like, it's just like means so much. And so she spent so much time. She like grabbed my hands. I was explaining to her, like, I'm not like crying because you're Liara Tassoni. I'm crying because of what Liara Tassoni did for me in a time when I needed her, like without knowing I needed her. And so like she started crying, and she told me about this anecdote about a time when she was lonely, and like how she had, something in her life that brought her closeness, and when she didn't realize that that's what she needed. And it was just this amazing experience. We talked about her doing voice acting with Jen, and how she said, some of those the romance scenes she did not with Jen, but she could hear Jen's lines, so she was able to react to them. It was just an amazing conversation. I told her about my brother, got me into Mass Effect, and so not only did she signed the disc here, this is her right here, where it says Liara. And so she was so funny. She was like, where do you want me to sign this? And I said, she said, do you want this one personalized? And I said, no, because she had personalized the picture. I could take it off the wall. I'll read it. I'll read what it says. But I said, I'd really like to get more people to sign the disc. And she said, oh, that makes total sense. And she said, who else do you want to get to sign this? And I said, well, Jen, obviously. And she said, oh my gosh, it's such a bummer that Jen's not here. We always have such a good time at conventions. And I said, yeah, but she does conventions a lot. And she said, she does. And she said, I don't usually do conventions, but more recently I've seen that she's been doing them. But at the time she said, I don't usually do them, but Jen does them a lot. And then I said, and I'd also really like to get Yvonne Strahovski. And I like pointed to my Cerberus jacket. And she said, oh, yes. She said, I would love to meet Yvonne Strahovski. And I was like, let's go together. You probably have a better chance than I do. So anyway, so then I was telling her about my brother, and I said, my brother is the whole reason I'm here, right? Like, he's the one who told me to play Mass Effect. So she looks over to Bender and she says, hey, throw me. She doesn't say throw me. She's too elegant for that. She said, you know, can you send me down another picture? And she signed one for my brother too. And she wrote on his name, again, his name's Ted. She wrote, Ted, you started it, ... Like this, like, it sounds like you started it, but really it's like this, like, stoic, like, you started it, Ted, you're the reason. And you know, that probably meant more to me than it meant to him. But it was amazing. It was just it was a solid like 10 minutes of me just being able to truly thank somebody who was part of this amazing, thank you, Turtle, thank you, this amazing, honestly, piece of just like my early adulthood. And it was just, hey, what's up? How are you doing? Oh my gosh, good to see you here, man. Awesome. She's top tier human, Tristan. 100%. Well, Kazmic, dude, it's so good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Anyway, so she does this for my brother. She does one for me, which again is right here next to my my Eris here that I got signed by Morla too, earlier this year. And then she did the disc here. So she had a panel later in the afternoon, but between the panel, I also learned that Kimberly Brooks was at this convention. Kimberly Brooks plays Ashley in Mass Effect. And so I did not cry when I talked to her. And actually a really cute moment. That's why I love geeks and nerds and gamers of all types, because I was standing there and I thought that I had enough money for the autograph, and I didn't. And this dude turns around and he's like, here's $5. So thank you. I appreciate that. I will just have story hour now instead. So she hands me, this guy hands me $5 and he's like, get your autograph. Don't not get your autograph. It's Kimberly Brooks. Which, by the way, I had no idea that Kimberly Brooks does so many amazing characters. I walked up there and saw a headshot or a photo or print or whatever the hell it's called. I think print is probably best, of I forgot her first name, but is it what's her character? Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Her character in BioShock Infinite, which I love. Is it Fitzgerald? That's not gonna BioShock. Fitzroy. I was close. So she does Daisy Fitzroy too. So I mean, it's just whatever. So she also signed this disc right up here. I don't know if you can. The light's messing it up. Right up here is Kimberly Brooks. So I got 2 autographs that day. I wish I had been able to get Jen, but she wasn't there at all. So I'm still looking for Jen. Courtney Taylor would be amazing. Anybody, like if I ever see somebody at a local convention that was in Mass Effect, just be like, hello, please sign my Mass Effect 2 disc. So anyway, the story continues. So I went to her panel, and by that point, Allie and I, we were old friends. And so I was like, I'm just going to sit in the front. So as we're waiting for her to get in there, there's like this chatter about ships and, you know, who people romance and everything. There was the one person who stood up and was like, was I the only one who really liked Talion? Oh my god, I forgot his name. Talion Legion. And like everyone was like, yeah. It wasn't very nice, but it was kind of funny. And then so Allie came in and she like waved at me. She like recognized me, of course, 'cause I just cried to her in the middle of a convention. And she did this great panel, and there were a lot of people there who were Final Fantasy fans, so they were there because she played Lightning, and it was an amazing panel. So then at the end, the moderator was really good, and at the end, the moderator asked, what is it like for you when you share an emotional moment with a fan about any of your characters? And she like looked at me and kind of like smiled and like said that when she has these connections, you know, it's I don't even remember right now because I'm thinking too hard about it, but she like used what happened with me as an example, and then but like made it very, very anonymous. Like nobody in that room had any idea she was talking about me except for me. And she said, you know, sometimes you have I'm saying clients. Sometimes you have fans who come up to you and they just tell you how integral your character might have been, or that they were, you know, the role that they played. And there's truly nothing like it, because you don't necessarily realize the impact that you're going to make on somebody until they're right there crying with you or talking with you or whatever the case may be. So, we applauded, hooray, and the panel ended. And as you know, I kind of like waved to her, I said thank you again, and as I was leaving, she like grabbed me and she hugged me, and she said, I didn't mean to call you out like that, you know, blah blah blah. And I was like, I was like stepping on her toe, and I was like, it's really fine, I'm standing on your toe right now, I'm really sorry, thank you so much, this has been just such a magical day. And you've truly, this has just been far beyond what I could imagine. And it was amazing. Like, she really made it so, so good. And she said, make sure that if you tag me and stuff, you mention who, not like, don't say, hi, this is Rachel, like, give me something to remember you by. And I said, oh, the girl who cried to you in Tampa. And she said, yeah, that'll probably do it. So it was just a phenomenal, like, it was such a good circle to Mass Effect, what Mass Effect is, and just what it stands for me personally. So, that's kind of my very fast talking Mass Effect story. Sounds like it was probably worth $30. Honestly, it was worth $60 because I paid for 2 tickets, and I would have paid $100. See, here's the thing: if I hadn't spent the $30 on the first day, and I had just gone Sunday, it wouldn't have happened, right? So I had to buy the $30. I had to go and be heartbroken to get the Sunday experience. So it was totally worth all the money I spent. I should have taken this thing off the wall for you guys. I have a picture. Let me see if I can find it. Where would I have put it? No idea. I don't know. But she wrote on it, Rachel, thank you, ... for being there. And that was like after we had talked about like what Mass Effect being in my life meant. Oh, she was so good. She said some line to me that I was like, she like pulled me close to her and was like whispering in Liara voice, like into my ear. And I was like, I have a lot of feelings in a lot of different areas right now. And I'm not sure what to do with it. Like, it was amazing. One of the coolest things, I talked to her about the role playing. Like, I said to her, I know you, but after, you know, just spending so much time with Liara in game, like, I got the cadence down. And when I said that, she said, yes, Liara has such a specific cadence. If you were able to get that down in your writing, then that's tremendous. And I was like, look, I don't know if I was able to get it down in my writing. I felt like I could get it down. People told me that my writing sounded like Liara, but all I'm saying is that I picked up on the cadence. And then I asked her too, I knew what the answer was, but I asked her anyway. I said, what was it like to voice Liara in Andromeda? So this is a little bit of spoilers. So for anyone who's planning on playing these, spoilers kind of. So that's all I'll say. So she said it was amazing coming back, and it was amazing just being able to fit into the story and just have Liara live on in that way. It was just beautiful. I mean, she was like, I had to keep it so under wraps, but it was stunning. So long story short, after you listen to the long story, Mass Effect is it's just so important to me. It's just such a huge part of my gaming persona. It's a huge part of my non-gaming persona. It's why I'm so passionate about, like, why the heck aren't they remastering? You know, but it's just a big part of just gaming in general. I hope. It seems very promising that they're going to give us something within the next however many years. I don't know. It certainly sounds like they're building it up. I can't deny that. I just wish that they weren't like like building it up and then just being like, okay, congrats, we'll see you in the future. I wish they would actually give us something new, and not do like what they did last year. But Mass Effect's super important. If you guys have the opportunity to play it, play it. You truly get to do whatever the heck you want. You can be whoever you want to be, and the possibilities are just honestly endless. So, that's my spiel on Mass Effect. That's all I got for you guys, and that was me talking about Mass Effect for an hour and 11 minutes. And I hope that you guys enjoyed my anecdote. I think someone just cursed downstairs because they're playing Dark Souls. Glenn is playing Dark Souls, the original, and he curses a lot when he plays it. So yeah, Mass Effect is Mass Effect. I think that this stream, this Therapy Thursday, just turned into talking about Mass Effect. I'm going to take a break and drink. I see Jesse's question. I'm going to have some water here. I'm not going to like go off camera or anything, but please write things about Mass Effect in chat, ask questions, tell me your anecdotes. It's been over an hour, but I could talk about Mass Effect for as long as I wanted, probably. So if you were in a Mass Effect game, it's a good question. Which character do you want to be casted as and why? What's funny about that, Jesse, is that when you play Mass Effect, you kind of are in a Mass Effect game, because you get to play as the main character, but I know what you're saying. That's a really good question. Anyone else who's played Mass Effect who wants to join in, please answer that as well. I mean, my gut says Liara just because I'm so connected to her, and I'm similar to her in a lot of ways. I can be very naive. I'm very inquisitive. I'm not as smart as Liara, but I definitely have those two traits. I'm Liara, like, even when she starts to become much more of a badass, she's still like soft, right? Like she wants to do what's right for people because it's right. You know, she wants to be kind. And so Liara is my gut answer. I think that if I really, like, if that was my opportunity to live a different life and be someone completely different than myself, the answer then would be Jack, because I'm so not like Jack whatsoever. Vetra, ooh, that's a good answer. Did you romance Vetra? No, did you romance Vetra or PB? I shouldn't assume. I romanced Reyes Vidal because, whew, could knock me down. Great question, Jesse. Turtle writes, I used to watch my older cousins play it and used to watch them play when I was over. Yeah. Dang, man. If you have the opportunity to play it, I know you're on Xbox. You can get them backwards compatible. It's so worth it, dude. It's so worth it. If you like those kind of games. You romance PB. Vetra's I need to go back through and play Andromeda, like, again. Because, like, Vetra, I never talked to Vetra in my first playthrough. I talked to Liam a lot because I was going to romance Liam. He's so cute. I can't deal with Liam. He's, like, such a nerd. And then, like, also I'd want to be Miranda, but Miranda's one of those where it's like, do I want to... How do I say this without cursing too much? I know I've cursed a little bit. Do I want to be intimate with Miranda? Do I want to be friends with Miranda, or do I want to be Miranda? I'm not really sure. I think it's a combination of the three. I just love Miranda. Miranda is so complicated. I don't have enough breath to talk about Miranda. But it will probably be Vetra from now on. There's something about her that I really connect with. She seemed really hardcore, dude. Like, she seemed really fun, and I just, like, didn't talk to her. I don't know why. I was just, like, I just wasn't in it to win it. Those aren't mutually exclusive. I knew I could count on Tristan to come in with the double entendre punch there. You're the man, Tristan. You're right. Oh, look, here's a tweet from Jennifer Hale. Oh my gosh, this is cute. she says, happy N7 day to all. Thanks for riding along. And then she tagged a bunch of people, not Allie Hillis, and wrote, and the whole Mass Effect family. Oh my gosh, and she's we're gonna take a look at this real quick. Hold on. Look, she's wearing an N7 leather jacket. Stunning. So for those who don't know, this is the woman who does Commander Shepard, FemShep. Stunning. It's pretty legit, I have to say. So yeah. They're not mutually exclusive. You're totally right. That's a good question, Jesse. Thanks for asking that. I didn't really talk about Andromeda at all. I kind of talked about it a little bit at the beginning, just my feelings on it. I don't have as many feelings. First of all, because I wasn't playing it at a time where I needed like a group of friends. But long story short, Tristan has heard me talk about this today. Andromeda is a fine game. Like, it truly is. Like, if you put Mass Effect, original trilogy over here, and you have Andromeda over here, it's fine. It launched like garbage. I played it at 12 a.m. It didn't launch very well, but it played well. Like, after some patches and just fixing some bugs, like, I was watching someone play it recently, and it was amazing. It was fine. Like, I just wish... My biggest fear is that they're going to make a new title, and it's not going to be Andromeda, and we're going to be left without it. If Mass Effect gets remastered, assuming EA doesn't keep screwing things up, will all of the DLCs be included in the multiplayer matches? I have no idea, because they have not given any indication that that's going to happen or is ever going to happen. I wish that I had some sort of insight, because that would be truly a blessing. But yeah, I don't know. I wish I knew. I really wish I knew. My gut instinct says that they would include the DLCs. Most remastered things, I think, do. Like Skyrim included the DLCs, and I hadn't played them, so it was really nice to be able to do that. But that's definitely a factor for me going into buying the remastered. Like, I've played Citadel DLC, and I've played Lair of the Shadowbroker DLC, but I have not played the Omega DLC. I didn't do the Leviathan DLC. I haven't done... There's a DLC in Mass Effect 2 that I watched Roz play. It was that sad one with the guy who was, like, indoctrinated. I don't remember what that one was called, but I didn't play that one. So it would, my gut feeling is that they would include them. The multiplayer, I don't know. A lot of people really liked the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, so they might. Because I know those servers are still active, so maybe they could just use those servers. I'm not really quite sure how all of that tech stuff works, but my gut is that they would include at least the DLCs as part of it. For sure. Yeah. What is this? This is not related to... Oh, that's cute. This is related to Ninja. Not me. This is why I can't have social media open when I'm streaming. But yeah, so that's what I got for Mass Effect. I've showed these off on screen before. Their maker is in my stream right now. So we have an N7 plushie ghost here, as made by Heather in stream. And then also my personal favorite, we have the Cerberus one. Look at it. We're matching. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. I love these things. Hey, thanks for following. Look at Lorelei up there. I love it every time. Thank you. Vengeful Shrike. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you stopping in. And thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Note to Bungie, include the N7 emblem and ghost for next D2 update. They probably won't, because they're completely different. Developers, but I could definitely style or get some shaders that would make it look like N7 if I really wanted to. which would look pretty dope. Shit. Cool. But yeah, so Mass Effect's super important to me, and you know, if it's something that you guys would like to see on stream, I would stream Andromeda. I would stream all of them, but like Andromeda for sure, because I've only played through it in full once. I started 2 other characters. I started a Scott that I had intended on having romance Cora. Cora reminds me of Miranda, and I still question why neither of them are romanceable by female characters. So I have to play as a man in order to experience that. Which is fine. And then I started a second cis writer who romanced Suvi because, gosh dang, Suvi in that little accent. She's so cute. But Reyes Vidal, he's my first true love in that game. My gosh, he came out of nowhere. And I was like, Liam who? I was like that meme with the chick going, and the guy going, huh? And the girl walking past going, huh. Like, that was me and Reyes Vidal for sure. It's probably Reyes Vidal. Like, I'm over here like, Reyes. Cool. Yeah. So, that's all. That's what I got. I don't know if anyone else has anything to add. Anyone else has any questions about Mass Effect? Any anecdotes? Anything they want to see? Also, try to make more Mass Effect gameplay videos on your YouTube channel to give your subs some lore of what the game is about. Maybe. I don't really do videos like that. I don't have the editing software or the editing patience to do videos like that. I leave that stuff to Bife and other people who do lore videos. That's just not always me. But yeah, so. Whew. Mass Effect Day. Let's see if they gifted us anything, which I don't think they have. Unless you do a collab with one of them. True. But they also have to want to do a collab on Mass Effect. So let's see what I got. I forgot what I was doing. Okay. One other cool thing, sorry, my eyes get a little itchy. One other cool thing that they posted today. Glenn's yelling in the background. One other thing that they posted today that really like totally rattled the Mass Effect community. I'm so sorry about my eye here. Was this, hold on, beep, 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 was this post. We have so many ideas for things we want to do in Mass Effect, so much concept art that hasn't yet been brought to life, and so many stories yet to tell. This is the tweet today that threw everyone into a tizzy. And then he posted these, I know this is blocking it, he posted these concept art pieces. And I was like, are these places we've been? Are these places we haven't been? Like, this to me looks like the Normandy, but like, I don't know. Is this on the Citadel? Like, where are we? What are we doing? Like, this to me looked like kind of like the base in, is it Sirkesh? Is that the name of the Solarian place? But like, this is not Solarian. So like, is this, are we gonna see this? Are we gonna get this? But again, this is like the Normandy. I don't know what the heck's going on. Is this Vermeer? Like, I don't think it is. But like, what's happening? Where are we gonna see these? Why haven't we seen them yet? Why aren't you doing a remaster? I will only hold on to that for just a small amount of time. But yeah, so that was kind of a fun. That was a fun. So cool. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I think that I have Mass Effected the heck out of this evening. Now it's getting close to 10 o'clock. And I think that I'm going to call it a night. I want to thank you guys for being part of this conversation. I know it was mostly just me telling my Mass Effect story, but it's important to me, and I hope that it was that if you're in here and Mass Effect is important to you, I hope that you get to experience Mass Effect in the ways that resonates with you. Whether that's going back and playing it again, whether you say to yourself, I want to give Mass Effect a try, Tristan, whether it's playing it for the first time, I hope that Mass Effect brings you joy and helps you, in some sort of way, the way that it was able to help me. And that's all I got. Yeah. So, have a good night, and I still have to play Witcher. Oh my gosh, listen to me. I'm not saying anything because I'm trying to decide which one of those games to tell you to play first. And Fallen Order is next Friday. Okay, look, just don't play anything. And now it's too close to Fallen Order. So, don't play anything. Play Fallen Order, and then once you're done with Fallen Order, which will not be a disappointment, we'll talk about whether to play Witcher or Mass Effect first. So, yeah, you guys, it could be Greedfall. That's a whole other conversation for another time. As for me tomorrow, I'm going to endure some Outlast 2, and it's going to be a pain. Heck yeah. Oof, yeah, that's all you, man. I've got no interest in Outlast 2. If you guys don't follow Jesse on Twitch, give him a follow. Follow Jesse. He's an awesome dude. He streams Destiny, and he streams a lot of other single-player games, Warframe sometimes. I've seen him on Neo. I've seen him on all kinds of games. So give Jesse a follow. And I will be back this Wednesday. I may, if I stream, it'll probably be in the morning, probably not for 4 hours like it was this week. I have a to-do list that I need to do. It's all like related to a wedding, which needs to be attended to. So I might not be on Wednesday, but I'd like to be. And then I know this was not really therapy at all, but Heather made a great point in saying that this is therapy. This is a conversation about therapy because we are talking about self-care and doing things to take care of ourselves and and treat ourselves. My fiance says, sorry, I just cussed. I'll make sure to tell him that I didn't hear him, so that's fine. And I will be back in 2 weeks for Therapy Thursdays. We will push the topic that we were supposed to do tonight to then. So that was going to be on boundaries. I have a great article that I found in Psychology Today. It'll also give me a little bit more time to see if I can find that online or at least get it in a way that I can have it up on screen for you guys to see. As always, thank you so much for the follows, the subs. Thank you, Roz. And I'm just honored that you guys will hang out in here and listen to me tell stories. That's always a joy. As I mentioned to one of my viewers today, it's really easy to stream for me because it means I just get to listen to myself talk, and that's the ultimate goal. So thank you guys so much. Everybody have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you so much. Have a good one. This is Rachel, who's not a commander, but at one point was a Commander Shepard person, and I'm signing off.